The May 2nd meeting of the Martin County Board of Education is called to order. All rise for the pledge and meditation.
To the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Barbara, would you mind doing
Lord, I thank you for this day. I thank you for just about the middle of the year. I come to you onto your throne of grace and mercy. And ask that you will lead us and guide us based on all the policies and laws and procedures that are given to us to work with our school and to administer all that is needed to be done. I ask that you will guide us and keep us all safe, our family members and all. And I ask that you will look after the teachers and everybody else that's employed through Martin County Schools, all staff members, and keep them safe and in a good place. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Alrighty. Need an approval of the agenda. Got a motion and a second to approve the agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Passed. Public comments.
Per the board chair, I will provide the public comment guidelines. Individuals will be given 3 minutes to make their presentations. Requests to speak for a group will be granted 5 minutes to address the board. Individuals or groups will be called on to speak in the order on the sign-up sheet. If an individual is not present or declines to speak, the next person on the sign-up sheet will be called upon. If the 20-minute period ends during a speaker's presentation, the public comment period will end at the conclusion of the time period allotted to the presenter. Any materials that the individual or group wishes to present to the board should be submitted prior to the meeting so they can be distributed. The board will not respond to comments except to request clarification of points made by the presenter. The superintendent will provide a written response for questions posed to the board within 10 working days of the meeting. The board will not hear public comments related to personnel issues or student issues that are under investigation by the administration.
Thank you. First speaker, Ms. Cte Programs.
Good afternoon. It's me again. It is the 6th time that I've been here in solidarity with our teacher assistants, ESPs, asking for you to consider allowing them to work on teacher work days. At the last board meeting, Ms. Wagner just spoke about the county adopting a new curriculum letters. Our ESPs or TAs are mainly used in our elementary classrooms. Second K through first grade, some second grades, and they are very essential to the jobs that we do. We are asking that you will allow them to come back so they may learn this new curriculum, that they will be able to assist the teachers as we make sure that we provide the best education that we can to all of our students that we have in our classrooms. As you see, our TAs are holding signs. And if you will look at the sign, the one that's that strikes me the most is the sign that says, I was docked $250-some out of my last paycheck. I don't understand this. our ESPs and our TAs deserve a living wage. How many of you have a second job? How many of you don't know if you have enough money in your check to pay your mortgage or your bills? How many of you wonder and struggle if I have enough for my family? The majority of our ESPs and TAs are single families supported. Some of them are married, but they're older. Please pay them a living wage. Please allow them to work on teacher work days. This is Teacher Appreciation Week. Show them you appreciate them by honoring this small task. We are willing. We come here every week, every month, asking you to consider this. The comment said that Vice Chair Purvis read said that if y'all had any questions, y'all would direct them to us. We've heard nothing from no one. 6 times, nothing has been said to us. We are willing to come and meet with anybody to discuss this matter. But once again, no one has addressed us. Nobody has stepped to us. Nobody has asked us anything. But we love our children, and we love the job that we do. We don't want to lose any more good people. We don't want to lose anyone else to going to another county because they're offering more. They want to stay here, and we want them to stay here. So again, we ask that this board will consider giving the TAs back their days and increasing their salary. Thank you.
Ms. Harrell,
Yes, sir.
are you aware of the action that we took at our last meeting?
No, sir, I'm not aware of the action that you took at your last meeting.
You got 5 days. The TAs got the 5 mandatory work days.
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. But they've always had the 5 mandatory work days.
Not according to the information that we had.
They got 5 days. Can I continue to work? They come in on the first day that we all come back. That's 1. They work the first day, the first 2 days. Then they come back on open house. That's 3. And at the end of the year, they get 2 more days. They work the last 2 days of school. Those are the 5 mandatory days they've always had.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. But thank you for that.
Miss Pamela Sherrod.
Good evening, everyone. I come again. This is my 3rd time coming and speaking on behalf of the TAs. I am a TA at Williamston Primary School. I am also a bus driver at Williamston Primary School, also driving numerous of buses. Today, I drove another bus that's not even my own bus, but I volunteered because we couldn't find another bus person that would drive that longer route. I had to get on that bus and endure all that heat today. And it was hot. And I'm hot because I don't get paid enough. I am a single parent, not by choice, as I stated before. This is not by choice. I wanted to be a single parent. Every day I'm docked 30 minutes of my time. I only get a 45-minute bus route. So my time, I'm volunteering for Martin County to drive the bus. And it's not fair. I was docked $296.71 on just last month. That $296.71 could have went towards my rent. My rent is $600, plus my lights, plus somebody to cut my grass. I don't make enough. My check was $1,100 and $1,100 and some cents. My bus check was $400. $480. I did not make enough to pay every one of my bills last month or this month right here. So I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to pay the rest of them. And it's not fair to me or my daughter that I have to struggle every day and hide it every day. And I go to work smiling. I love my kids at Williamston Primary School. I love them. They love me. It's not fair that Miss Shirai has to struggle and come to work with a smile on her face every day like nothing is wrong with her. I am tired of struggling. I just want my days back. I just want my 30 minutes back. I want my 30 minutes back that I deserve. I shouldn't be docked every day because I'm doing a service for you. I decided to drive that bus so I can keep my job in Martin County Schools. And it's really not benefiting me because I can make the same amount just coming in as a regular TA. I'm losing time every day. I made the same amount just being a TA in the month of August, September, and October than I make now being a TA and a bus driver. And that's not fair to me. Please give us our time. Please give us our days back. And I also want to let you know, I can't run effective groups during the day with my kids if I don't know what I'm doing. I'm running reading groups and I ain't never been trained. Never been trained to run that reading group. My teacher, she's sitting right there. She doesn't have time to train me in the morning at 8 o'clock when I get in off that bus. She doesn't have time because she's already running her class. But thankfully for her, she has shown me a little bit how to run that group. So I can be effective and teach my kids like they need to be taught. We deserve our time back so that we can be taught correctly how to run those reading groups and how to make and successfully teach these kids. Please give us our time back. That's all I'm asking. $296. It's not fair.
Thank you.
You can have it.
All right, I need a motion to approve the consent agenda.
Second.
I have a motion and a second to approve the consent agenda. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. Information items. Coach McGill and Phil Willard.
Good evening, everybody. Mr. Willard is at Riverside High School. I have senior night for baseball tonight, so I'm filling in, pinch hitting.
All right.
Tonight, we're here to honor the Riverside High School track state champions. And we're going to honor from the spring because due to COVID, we didn't get a chance to honor them. So we have here tonight with us, I'm going to go to the name, I'm going to call you guys up and give you guys a certificate. We have Brawley Bickerstaff, who was a 1A 3,200 meter state champion in the spring of 2021. We have Taquan Bunch with us, who was the 1A long jump state champion from the spring. From this past winter, Brawley Bickerstaff was the 1A, 2A indoor track 1,600 meter state champion. And Brawley also won the 1A, 2A indoor track 3,200 meter state champion, and mostly against 2A competition. So that was a great honor. And their coaches for their track team, they were led by the head indoor track and field coach, and the head girls track coach is Mark Cagle, and the head boys coach is Coach CP Point. If you guys would come up, I'll give you guys a certificate at this time. And joining us tonight is the principal for Riverside High School, Dr. Cecil. You come on up as well. So Briley, congratulations. Taquan, congratulations. Coach Cagle, congratulations. And Coach Point, congratulations. And you guys are teaching this area. They're going to take a picture. All right, thank you. Thank you. And in closing, Mr. Cagle, Coach Cagle want me to tell them they'll be back in June because they plan on winning another one this spring. Thank you.
Martin County and Martin County Schools COVID update. Mr. Wes Gray and Ms. Julie Thomas.
Good evening. So Wes couldn't be here tonight, so he asked me to just give a little summary of what we got. He just said that we're continuing to see 2 to 3 cases a week on average. And Martin County is going to continue to keep those 3 testing sites open as long as the funding continues for that. Let's see, this is the report that's going to be going out. Do they have a copy of this yet?
They do have.
Yeah, okay. So this is the updated, so for Martin County, we only have 5 active cases in Martin County, and since the last report of April 26th, there's only been 9 new cases. So, on the slide up here, you see our numbers for the week of April the 11th. We did not have any cases that week. Last week, you guys don't have a copy of that, but last week's report, we did finalize that this morning. We did have 4 cases of positive staff members, but no positive student cases last week. So, and we're really not sending home that many students and staff with symptoms. I think of those staff members, only 1 that we sent home with a symptom tested positive. The other 3 were outside of that. Then you've got your cumulative data since August. Any other questions? Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Guard, Martin County Schools Career and Technical Education 2-year plan.
Yes, sir. Thank you. As part of our plan, our Martin County Schools Career and Technical Education Plan, we have to redo it every 2 years to qualify for Perkins 5 money. And so tonight, what I'm going to do is go through an overview of how we developed our plan and then our plan for the next 2 years, knowing that it will be fluid and will be updated again next summer as items change. The first thing is our current CTE overview. Our enrollment has decreased, and some of the reasons for that with our research is an overall reduction in district numbers. Some of our courses are not aligned with our regional NC STAR jobs report, and courses are not promoted properly at the school level. Also, we had some changes in course offerings. As you know, we opened up the Martin County Schools Innovation Campus in January. It was not at full capacity, but we only moved business education and health science because they were the easiest to transition to the Innovation Campus. And also we've been doing, as part of that, field trips and activities to the Innovation Campus where we've been targeting 2nd through 5th grade and that's where Mr. Hudson has done an outstanding job like he is today with 5th graders conducting STEM activities and different events to promote the facility and get the kids excited about STEM, STEAM, and career and technical education. We're also looking at adjusting the course offerings to meet the current needs of our CNLA, which is our local needs assessment. And we're also looking at hiring new staff to teach new courses. With our staffing changes, currently as of today, we have 4 staff members that will be retiring, and we lost 1 administrative staff, which was Mr. Matthews at the mid-year, and he was our CIMC. We're also projecting, due to our enrollment estimate, a loss of months of employment. And the way CTE works is we're not awarded positions, we're awarded months, like we talked about last school year. We're awarded months of employment, and then we divide them up either by 10, 11, or 12 months, depending on the staff member and what program area they'll be working. So this is a quick overview, and through DPI, we have a vault that we can go in, what they call it, that we can go into and look at the number of students we've had enrolled over the past several years. So what Ms. Christenberry and I did is we went in and pulled data from 2016, 2017, all the way through 2020, 2021, and then I have the current year with me also. As you can see, there is a decline of numbers except for 2017, 2018 at the middle school level, and that was the last year that when Miss Tanya Little, now Dr. Little, was here, and she did the STEM program at Riverside Middle. Well, a lot of those kids, instead of taking the careers course, they transitioned into that until the grant expired and until she went on to Elizabeth City. So those kids were placed back into the system at the middle school 2018, 2019. But we still had a decline in numbers. Also, the high school, we had an increase in 2017, 2018. And then, of course, those have been on a decline also. Currently, for this year, the high schools between Riverside and South Creek, they have 529 kids currently enrolled. And at Riverside and South Creek Middle, they have 491 students enrolled. Just as a quick overview of our CTE funding and how it is conducted, This is, of course, I'm glad you've got the monitors in front of you to see how the breakdown. For this next 2-year cycle, what we're looking at is with maneuvering staff, using the months of employment that we're estimating. And we're trying to base everything off of 160. We had 163 last year. We're doing 160 this year. And working with the principals at Riverside High School, we're going to keep our business and 2 family consumer science. Riverside Middle School will be business and a career exploration, 2 teachers. South Creek High School, it will be a business teacher and then 1 family and consumer science. South Creek Middle School will be business and career exploration. And at the Innovation Campus, and I'll explain this a little bit more when we get into another part of the presentation, the CIMC SPC Special Populations, 12 months. Agriculture with 2 teachers we're bringing over here, 1 for the shop and 1 for the biotech lab, be 24 months. CDC, 10 months. Business, 10 months. And 2 health science positions at 20 months, which gives us a projected of 156. And we're basing right now currently on 160 working with our regional coordinator and looking at projected models. All right, 013 budget is, of course, like we said, is our months of employment. So what we've worked at doing is with South Creek Middle, South Creek High, Riverside Middle, and Riverside High, working with the staff, is we've adjusted those staffs there for decreased enrollment. We're also adjusting for duplication of programs. So in other words, they'll be able to take certain things at their school and certain things here at the Innovation Campus, which will open up the Innovation Campus more to students. Also was the cost of refitting and overhauling the programs at those 2 schools. Both of the agriculture shops at both places and some of the labs are in need of a complete retrofit, but we have the facilities here at the Innovation Campus, and also working with our staff to build a solid foundation of recruitment for high school and the Innovation Campus programs. And so what that will allow us to do is at the new facility, we can accommodate the new courses we want to teach. We can save financial resources by, instead of spending them on replacing stuff that is older, we already have the new equipment, new things here, but we can do what I like to call value added. We're also located on the same campus as the economic development, vocational rehabilitation, and other businesses that are subleasing, so our students have access to those. And finally, we're close to Martin Community College, so we're going to take advantage of those opportunities. We also have one other part of our funding is what they call a State 14 budget, which is program support funds. And these are the different areas that those funds can be used for. Traditionally, we get between 42 and 44,000, and sometimes that's usually adjusted mid-year. And it was last year. Last year, we started off with 43 and ended up with 44. But of course, that's computed by numbers, student numbers. The federal budget, which is all 017, is made for program improvement. As you can see, it shows the different facilities and upgrades that we can work with those funding areas. So as part of the next 2 years, what we're looking at is upgraded equipment is needed in all program areas. And what Ms. Christenberry and I are working with the teachers is trying to get everything on a schedule. So that way, in theory, we won't have anything over 4 or 5 years old as far as equipment or computer or technology. We're also looking at development, implementing and upgrading our scheduling, additional supplies and professional development for our middle schools and our 5th grade as part of supplemental activities, looking at increasing instructional supplies for agriculture, business, health science, information technology, and trade and industrial education, working with our professional development for CTE staff. This includes areas, but not limited to, career student organizations, student recruitment and retention, and reading and math strategies as part of the district's strategic goal. Credentialing opportunities for all students at no expense. And we're using additional state fundings. We picked up in March an additional $29,000 from the legislature and Department of Public Instruction to do credentialing. So that will allow our students not only to leave with their high school diploma and some college classes at Martin Community College, but also with a credential that will allow them to go to work, like the Serve Safe for Family and Consumer Science, the OSHA certification for the health science and agriculture education, just as some of the examples. And also we're going to continue educational trips and the district-wide career fair, which we will expand. Some items that we're looking for in the future. In our initial results, as you can see with our comprehensive local needs assessments, we were able to get surveys from 37 parents, 208 students, and then I did one-on-one interviews with the high school principals, the middle school principals, and Dr. Fonseca. Also, we interviewed and worked with all 13 of our CTE teachers and our local business advisory board. And we had 2 meetings with them, plus 1 specialized meeting with Weyerhaeuser and Domtar. And overall, with our administration at the building level, was a lack of program and course understanding, limited student organization participation, and they had concerns with campus staffing and shortage and with current programs. The CTE staff, they were concerned about multiple pending retirements, need to upgrade courses and equipment, and concerns with moving to the innovation campus, what will happen to them. The students we interviewed, which we surveyed, were 8th through 12th grade or surveyed. Lack of knowledge of courses, counselors not emphasizing course opportunities, current courses are boring and not interesting, or space fillers in their schedule. The local business advisory concerns, what courses were being offered. And if you look halfway through there, this was interesting. This was mentioned by the president of the plant in Domtar, something he called Silver Flight. He said over half of his staff is 65 years or older, and not only was he interested in coming to us in the short term to promote his the business, but also a long-term solution. And that's why with Dr. Fonseca pushing it to the middle school to try to get those kids thinking about those careers, to have a strategy and build back up apprenticeships and pre-apprenticeships going forward for the viability of their company. With the other part, with the innovation campus, of course, we opened on January 19th. We talked about the current programs, business and health science, adding agriculture, STEM, and thanks to the relationship that we built with Martin Community College, we're looking at opportunities to add in where their teachers will come out and work with us with advanced manufacturing. The CT administrative staff, you've got the director, the CDC, CIMC, and SPC on this location, the finance department. Ms. Rogerson was able to help us add a person out here to take care of the front desk and to coordinate purchases and facility bookings. The curriculum and federal programs director is out here, and with 2 instructional coaches and district STEM coordinator, which that has been an excellent fit because it has allowed us to work together and collaborate to do things at a district level, not only just with this facility. And future staff, and we received approval to advertise for vacant CTE positions. And we're also working with current Martin community staff to finalize details for the advanced manufacturing course. And the one thing that we talked about on the other slide is DPI has suggested that Ms. Kristen Berry has been serving as our CDC, our career development coordinator, our career instructional management coordinator, and our special populations coordinator is one person. And if we can work it out with our months of employment, our regional director has suggested that we split it up to where one person is the career development coordinator. They would be stationed to work out in the schools, to work with the Martin Community College folks like Sean last week and those folks that were here, and get kids registered, and then keep the career and instructional management and special populations coordinator, should be SPC, not CDC again, as one person, and have them out here working with curriculum and being able to do what they need to do.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
If we go back to the slide before, please.
Yes, ma'am.
So let me get the right understanding. The CTE programs mean that's what we're gonna have here at this center. If we're gonna add the agriculture courses.
Yes, ma'am.
And STEM, so they won't be in the CTE in the 2 high schools, they'll be here.
Yes, ma'am. And that'll give,
That will automatically bring more people here.
yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes,
I wanna
ma'am.
make sure I understood that, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I also have a question now. In our work session, we were told the counselors and everything, they were meeting with the students, but in your survey, the student says something else.
That was in October.
Yeah, that's an October.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
That was like before spring registration, before all that, because this plan to write it, I've been working on it pretty much since December daily. So we did all of our surveys in September and October. The teacher survey, the reason the teachers were concerned about the Innovation Campus that they mentioned in their part of the survey when we spoke with them and they put on there is because this was back in September when we still had not finished this part of the facility.
If I may, Mr.
Oh, yes, sir.
If I may, Ms. Manson, so one of the things, great question, by the way. So one of the things that Mr. Gard is doing, that also the rest of the leadership team we're doing, is we're running two systems parallel. Remember, this is a process that he has to do. We're not waiting for the answers. We already know that we have to communicate better, reach out, partner with Martin Community College. So we already have our own ongoing process, which is our district strategic plan, which he has referred to, but great question. Now, can we do better? Absolutely, yes.
And I have another question.
Yes, ma'am.
The school calendar for next year, we know it's later. Is that gonna mess us up with Martin Community College, being that we're not having exams before Christmas and that we're starting late?
We are, Ms. Kristenberry has already started talking with Sean and looking at what Martin can assist us with to get started ahead of time. And also on top of working with with Miss Cynthia on transportation and all those things. So now that the calendar has been finalized, we're hustling as hard as we can. So I hope to have something soon.
Are we gonna have our students that want to take those courses come to school early to the Innovation Center or what?
Well, that's why,
Or what?
that's why we're working with the counselor at Martin, see what kind of adjustments we can. Yes, ma'am.
If I may too.
Yes.
Thank you. Great
Yes.
question, Ms. Carter. So any way to start early would be if we have some type of independence over our calendar, which would be via an early college. So we're not designating an early college yet. We're working on it, but that's a long process. That would be about the only time that we could start some students exactly with the Martin Community College calendar.
So we didn't see an advantage of going to that program years ago, but it might be a reason to adopt that program in the future. So
I
we
would
can
be on,
have community college.
yeah, it would be unfair for me to try to answer decisions from the past, but I can tell you that, of course, we have a much better understanding of what our students need.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Gardner,
Yes, ma'am.
one question about credentialing opportunity for all students. Do we have any new credentialing, or because the ones that I heard, but I assume where I had heard that we already give those credentials to our students now?
Well, to be honest, when my experience as a building administrator when credentialing came over was limited, Miss Kristenberry has a lot more experience with that. And the reason we stuck with OSHA, ServSafe, and those type of credentialing is because that was all at the time that we had funding for. Well, once the state awarded us that extra money, we are going through currently and looking at each course. And now, like, for example, animal science has 3 different credentialing opportunities, for example, which before we didn't have that type of funding and we didn't have the children interest. Plus, with the credentialing, you pay each time they take the test. So you want to make sure that you've prepared those kids properly. So now what we've been able to do, great question. What we've been able to do now is kind of go back and we're looking at each individual course. And wow, I didn't know that in ag mechanics, not only can they get OSHA, they can get flat bead weld, elevated weld, those type of things. And so kids, we can actually know that those credentials are there and we can afford to do those. And it's like anything, once you get money, my phone, I should have known something was up when the money dropped because my phone blew up and all these credentialing companies are now calling, offering different opportunities.
So that's what dictates future course selections.
Yes, ma'am. So the kids will leave here with
Very
something.
interesting, finding new credentials for high school students.
Yes, ma'am. That they can use to go right to work with, even if they want to go to Martin or another alternative.
Two more questions.
Oh, yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
The advanced manufacturing drone, so we don't have personnel for the area?
With the advanced manufacturing, we're advertising for that. Traditionally, in other districts, one of the agriculture teachers can do the drone technology, but we've got to get those folks FAA certified. Yeah, I said it right, FAA. I always want to say FFA, but FAA certified, and that is a process. So what we're hoping is they're able to do that in the summer, license in the fall, and have that class in the spring.
Okay, thank you.
Yes,
The second
ma'am.
one, the silver flight that was mentioned from,
Domtar Warehouser. Yes, ma'am.
what's that, how is that different from when they take the test that puts them at silver, gold now?
Oh, I'm sorry. That was his term. Silver flight meant that he had a workforce greater than 50% at 65 years old.
Oh,
Yes.
silver flight.
Flight. Yes, ma'am. Flight. And his comment when Dr. Fonseca and I were sitting in there with Warehouser, he said he was worried about all of his employees just coming in one day and flying away because they could go at any time. And he has some that are over 70 still, which nothing wrong with that, over 70, but he's concerned of a mass exodus and him not. So he's trying to work with us to do the pre-apprenticeships, and which lead into apprenticeships to start funneling our students into there with well-paying jobs. But yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. But all right, 5th, 8th, and 9th through 12th. What we're looking at with in the future as part of our CNLA is we can do work, and CT funding can be used for 5th grade. So we're looking at doing some supplementary activities. So we'll be doing a boot camp for the elementary school principals this summer. For 8th grade, we're going to be expanding that. And so we're looking at not only new teachers, expanding the career fair. We're doing the summer enrichment, which is a PRC 177, which we're in progress of finalizing, where we'll bring kids out here for a week to be able to experience some different parts of career exploration. With 9 through 12, we're also doing a summer jump start for the second week of our summer enrichment PRC 177, and we're also looking to expand our internships and pre-apprenticeships, similar to a model that we're studying currently in Pitt County. I mean, it's an older model, but it's one that that I think we can get there. It's just going to take us several years. And then finally, to wrap up, just as an overview of some different things this year, we did the career fair, which I think was a tremendous success. And the team that we had together with that did a great job. Also, we're looking at course recruitment, promoting the community college, and promoting local businesses, working with business industry. We want to expand our advisory council. Take the Domtar Warehouser has offered some staff field trips. So hopefully this summer, working with them, we're going to take some of our regular education teachers and our CTE teachers out to visit to see where we're working with that. Riverside Academy is a cohort that we're in to do some different items with advanced manufacturing. We're on the ground floor with that. And finally, of course, Martin Community, which we talked about last week with courses on this campus from Martin Community College staff, and increase enrollment, CTE enrollment at Martin through the Career and College Promise, through Fire Academy, advanced manufacturing, helping recruit for the lineman program, and computers and information technology. And then that's just some of the activities that Mr. Hudson's done with 5th grade. Of course, this is our family consumer science lab that we redid at Riverside. We've got the equipment and the materials to redo South Creek. Fire Academy set up. We also visited the 911 center, local government. Martin County's local government the county commissioners did a great job inviting our kids in, and we spent most of the whole day between the courthouse and all the different local government entities, and they did an outstanding job and fed the kids lunch. I mean, they did a great job, and because it was a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun also. And then of course where we're at right now.
Question, Mr. Brown.
Yes, ma'am.
In Martin Community College, will our students be attending the college, or are they going to be there?
What we're hoping with Dr. Fonseca and President Better working together and us working together is to eventually have it to where their staff will come out here for some of the courses, because our facilities now, that we couldn't do it at our current high schools, but some of our shop and our hands-on facilities are similar to what they have. So as we get those stocked with equipment and continue to upgrade those, they'll be able to come out and do the same courses here. We won't have as much of the back and forth like we've traditionally had between the two high schools or the virtual.
What I'm talking about, the fire academy and the linemen and computer IT and all.
No, they'll be there. Yes, ma'am. Those will be
Those
there.
ones
Yes,
I'm
ma'am.
asking.
Yes, ma'am. I'm sorry. Yes, ma'am.
What is the status of the apprentice and the internship program?
The internship program is active. The apprenticeship program is or pre-apprenticeship is a little bit more detailed. Pitt County, it took them 4 or 5 years. Beth Ann, who's the CT director over there, once this year has gone over, I can go over and sit down with her, and she's going to show how she built the apprenticeships, pre-apprenticeships in, how she put them with business and industry, and how she's gotten her kids moved through the system. But that's something that in the next 2 years is part of the plan that we're working for.
When I was teaching, it was effective then. Did it die after COVID?
The COVID knocked a lot of things out, and a lot of the businesses, not all, but some of the businesses that did pre-apprenticeships kind of backed off of those type of things. So we're reintroducing that. The internships are fine, but the pre-apprenticeships are more detailed on the employer's end for documentation and those type of things. Because now you got to bank a certain number of hours and those type of things. So I'm going to go over to Pitt because they're doing a really good job with it, and I want to see what I can bring back to Martin. Yes, ma'am. Or I'm sorry.
That Riverside Academy, I don't know if I've said it right.
Yes, ma'am.
What is it?
It's a consortium of local districts that we're in with Dr. Fonseca and some other superintendents to increase the number of students taking courses in advanced manufacturing to fill the not only the present need of folks in that field, but to be able to build a group or a workforce to attract businesses to come into the Northeast.
So it's not a school, it's a consortium.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
So are you in charge of that too? The interns and apprentices?
No, ma'am. Miss Kristenberry is working with those. She handles all the paperwork, all the visits, grades, all those type of things. Yes, ma'am.
We'd love to know how many students we have.
It was well over 20. Which is not bad from nothing hard, not many with COVID back to that, and keeping those supervised. She's working on grades right now.
Was it this semester 20?
Yes, ma'am. And like I said, it's just trying to get everything back going. I'll email you an exact number. I'll email him and he can push it out to everybody.
If I may.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Carroll, the information for the Riverside Academy has been sent out on those Friday memos, but I'll send it back to you with the link so you can click on it and read a little bit more
Okay.
about it.
Thank you.
Sure. Thank you, Mr. Gordon.
Thank you, Mr. Guard.
Yes, sir.
Ms. Dawes, strategic plan.
Good evening, Mr. Chair, Board. Just want to give you a quick update on where we're at with the strategic plan right now. We had a survey with the latest draft up that was up for about a little over 2 weeks. And we had a fair response. From that response, we were able to find out that most of the respondents do agree that our strategic goals are the most appropriate to drive us for the coming 5 years. They do believe our action steps, the majority believe our action steps are appropriate to attain those goals. And they rank the strategic goals and their importance. And you can see the successful students, safe environment were first and second. And for third, it tied between excellence in teaching and technology for all. Now, just to let you know tonight what our next steps are, we're analyzing the feedback. The folks gave us their time to provide that feedback. So Dr. Fonseca and I are going through it to see what we can glean from it, if we do need to make adjustments. And we're going to be working towards a final copy very soon. So we're in the end stages now.
And who was surveyed?
We put it up publicly,
Okay.
and for anyone, and the predominant respondents were staff members. There were some parents and some community stakeholders, which identifies people, not parents or staff.
So Ms. Dawn, you said we got 38 responses and you call that fair based on our population?
Well, it's not great, no, but we had this out several times, and I say it was fair because 1, we got responses, and 2, the feedback they provided us. Yes, we could always do better, but we put it out with every avenue possible. So we're going to work with what we were provided.
There's a different, if I may. So the task of providing feedback was a monumental task. So that doesn't mean that we cannot measure how many people open the survey just to open it. So remember, the initial request for feedback is a monumental task. People were asked to read the entire document to provide feedback. Our anecdotal data says that, yeah, it looks great, but they didn't complete anything, or they didn't say anything, or they didn't add anything. If we're looking for numbers just for approval, then we'll send out a one-question survey that says, do you approve, yes or no? And I think that we'll probably struggle with that too, because it's just probably a topic that people are assuming, yeah, you guys do it. We attend school, and it's great. The strategic plan is for us. That's what drives us, our work, for you.
But we did put it out on every avenue between social media, all the school websites and things. So we put it out there as far as we could take it to make it available. Of the respondents, 29 were staff members.
Staff member, how many staff members do we have employed?
Just over 500, I believe, and that's in all avenues.
Thank you.
Any questions? Yes, ma'am.
You sent the survey out, right? To everybody?
We posted it on our social media channels as well as the website, and posted reminders that it was there asking for people's help.
Okay, was it just you, or did the principals help you? Did you get any help from the school?
I don't know how to gauge what went on. We pushed it. I can push it out to their websites myself. So I did that on my own. And we asked them to share it on their social media.
Did we send them emails in that school email?
We did send it out all staff as well.
We
Yes.
got it too. I mean,
Yes.
I went-
We sent out all staff and all Martin County schools addresses.
About all you did.
I felt like we did a good job making it available.
If I may, so the work behind it is not diminished. So there's a lot of work behind it, a lot of planning, a lot of direction. And keep in mind, we were just talking about it a little bit earlier, we're already moving forward with that plan. A lot of the activities that you have participated in, events that you have attended, classes that our students are attending, run parallel, because that's what we're doing with our district strategic plan. I'm not concerned with the responses, because the initial survey is a monumental task to read the entire thing. We'll send it out later on, and then we'll send out with the final form for approval. So if we still get 38 responses, then maybe we need to question our method. But for right now, for the initial, the respondents were asked to read the entire thing. So here's an example. Folks that do the doctoral dissertations, interview or go after districts with, 65,000 students. How many students or teachers do actually participate? 20, 30, and we based opinions on that. We're pretty good right now. I'm not concerned, is what I'm trying to say. I think that we're doing good right now. We'll send it out again once it's revised in the final form, and we'll see what kind of feedback we get.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. McPherson, policy 7401, duty to drive a school bus. First reading.
All right. Good afternoon, board. I'm not going to belabor this point. We discussed this at the April 25 work session. It is a policy that addresses the duty to drive a school bus. This is a previously unwritten policy in Martin County. It has been enforced. This is putting the teeth and meat and potatoes to this obligation that has been coinciding with the opportunity to work with Martin County Schools in order to address a school bus driver shortage. I don't know that that's a mystery to anyone sitting here. Additionally, it is meant to address the issue of someone getting their CDLs and then shortly thereafter coming forward with any version of a disability. So I commend it to you. This is first reading. Please read it and give any feedback you have either now or at a later time. But that's about it. Any questions? Okay.
Mr. Chair, I move the Martin County Board of Education enter closed session, subject to advice from the attorney pursuant to North Carolina General Statute 143.318.11A1 and A6 to prevent the disclosure of confidential personnel information under General Statute 115C-319, and to consider matters relating to initial employment of an individual. The board will go into closed session pursuant to General Statute 143-318.11A3 to consult with the board's attorney in order to preserve the attorney-client privilege, to consider confidential student matters as provided in North Carolina General Statute 143.318.11A1 and the Family Educational Rights and Privacy Act 20 U.S.C. 1232G and North Carolina General Statute 115C-402.
Need a second? Second. Got a motion and a second to go into closed session. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Closed session granted.
Mr. Chairman Heath, you're back.
All right, we're back in open session. The first item is personnel. Dr. Fonseca?
Thank you, Chairman Heath. Madam Vice Chair Purvis, Board. So you can take those items as they are in order. So the first one is for your approval, personnel.
Got a motion and a second to approve personnel as presented in closed session. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, nay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Heath. The next item is closed session minutes for your approval.
Move to approve but keep them closed due to confidentiality. Second.
Moved and second to approve the closed session minutes, but keep them closed. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, nay. All right, Mr. McPherson?
All right.
Good evening, Board. In front of you, you will have the offer to purchase the old Williamston Middle and High School property at 600 North Southwick Street, Williamston, NC, parcel ID 0503977. Yeah.
Some people can't hear you.
Okay. Should I lean into the mic?
Yes, that's perfect.
Is that better? Okay, wonderful. I'll start over. I'm reviewing the offer to purchase the old Williamston Middle and High School property at 600 North Smithwick Street, Williamston, parcel ID 0503977. The winning bid price was $120,000. The winning bidder was Black Acre LLC, president and sole member Jeremy Collins. Mr. Collins is in the audience tonight. He is a native of Martin County. He is from Jamesville. He is a attorney and investor currently residing in Durham, and he is very excited about this opportunity. I will entertain any questions the board has about the offer at this time.
I move to approve, sell the bill.
I second.
We have a motion and a second to accept the offer as presented by Mr. McPherson. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. Thank you. All right. Dr. Fonseca?
Thank you again, Chairman Heath, Madam Vice Chair, Purvis, members of the board. Our last item is the Martin County Schools Career and Technical Education Plan, 2-year plan, as presented by Mr. Gard for your approval.
I make a motion to approve.
A motion and a second to approve Martin County Schools Career and Technical Education 2-year plan. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, nay. All right, did you have someone you wanted to introduce to us?
Are you ready?
Yes, we are.
All right. Where is this young man? Come on up. Over the last few months, when Mr. Wagner announced his retirement, you know, it made us, especially the leadership team, come together and think about the process of selecting the next person, especially a person that had so many years in the school system. And I want him to tell you about it because we've had a lot of conversations about what he went through as part of the selection process. But we're excited that he's here. I'm not sure if your family is here, just you?
Yes. Okay.
One of the things that I have learned the most is that the passion that he has for education, the family values that he brings that I want to make sure that he shares with you. And when I said, you know, what do you do for fun? And when I hear, you know, we do activities together as a family, we are together as a family, you know, he's very involved in his belief, in his faith, in his church. But he also brings with him many, many years of public school experience. And so I want him to not only introduce himself to you, but also that he describes the selection process because I think it's very unique to interview somebody in a committee with a rubric and with questions, et cetera. So I know that it was a very exhaustive process for you, but you made it. Congratulations. Congratulations on behalf of the board. So are you ready to step up? All right, come on.
Thank you, Dr. Fonseca, board members, chair, Madam Vice Chair. Thank you for this opportunity to join the Martin County team to be a part of the great work that you're doing here. I am Dr. Gregory Monroe. I come from Greene County by way of Pitt County, now where I live with my family. And it has been a journey well worth it at this point to reach this moment. Your team did a very thorough job. So if I had any doubts about not wanting to come here, your screener interviews would have taken care of that because questions were very astute and aligned to what is needed for Martin County schools. Then the second interview with the essays, the presentations, also made myself, I'm not sure about any other candidates, but to reflect on, again, what is my purpose and my why for wanting to come to Martin County schools. It was never about a paycheck. It was never about how much money I would make. It was about the impact that I could bring to this community. I owe Martin County a lot in that the love of my life is a product of Martin County. And I'm so thankful for the work that you all put in her and the results in that. And I'm very thankful for that. So ironically, she started her administrative career in my hometown, and I am in the twilight of my career in her hometown. So I am very thankful for you all giving me this opportunity to add value to Martin County schools, to be a part of this team, to continue the work that is being done, to work with Dr. Fonseca and the senior leadership team and all the students and staff and communities in Martin County to be more value to what you all are doing and to bring my expertise and my ambition to learn and to grow to this great organization.
Welcome to Martin County Schools.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Well, congratulations. Mr. Heath, thank you for the opportunity to introduce Dr. Monroe. Certainly an educator with a lot of experience. He's been a teacher and administrator, central office administrator, and now he's looking forward to participating in as Director of Student Services. Ms. Scott, just remind me that in front of you have a folder. This don't see it as homework, but that's the information about the $200,000 grant, the 21st Century grant that I mentioned before. We're still in conversations with them, but if you don't mind, just please take it home. Thank you.
Did Mr. Collins want to say anything?
Would you like to invite Mr. Collins?
By all means.
Okay.
Yes.
Mr. Collins, would you come up? Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Good evening, Dr. Fonseca, Brother Mr. Harrison, to the board. First, I just want to acknowledge my mom who's here tonight, and to each one of you, I am more than anything excited to do something positive and invest in a place that gave me so much, that gives me so much. There was only one thing that I would change about that introduction is I'm not from Jamesville. I went to Jamesville School, but I'm from Darden. I tell everybody that everywhere I go in the world. I'm from Darden's. I'm a product of these schools. The brother that you just welcomed, I leaned over into his ear because his mother-in-law was one of my first grade teachers, Miss Wade. And I have so many great stories about Martin County schools. I was one of the first young men to get the Marine Corps scholarship here in Martin County. Myself and Luke Hardison, who was in my class, class of 98 out of Janesville there. My first camping was in the Webelos and the Boy Scouts here in Martin County. I wouldn't trade being from Martin County, having gone to Janesville School for anything, but I'm not just a person that grew up here. I'm here every month. I still play piano for my church, Smithwood Chapel Church. That's right off of Million Road and Fire Department Road. This building that we're in right now, and my mom being here is really important to me because my parents sacrificed a lot for my brothers and I. This was a Roses that my mother worked in while we were in school. So when the opportunity came available to reimagine what Martin County can be, what abundance can look like for our communities, I'm most excited about the future and what we can do together. I'm excited to partner with Martin County Schools. I'm excited to be in the community more. I'm excited to build out innovation and creativity with Mr. Guard, who I know back from Janesville. But more than that, I'm excited to build something new for people and with people who have the greatest asset that I've ever seen. And that is, we don't have what some folks might have as far as particular industries and restaurants and malls or whatever. But what we have is connectivity. We have connectivity between our different communities. I tell everybody when I'm going down Fire Department Road, everybody's gonna wave at everybody. If you're out in Belltown, everybody's gonna wave. If you're in Piney Woods or Dardens, everybody's gonna wave because we are all connected. And what I am excited about doing is working with the community that surrounds that property and listening to what people want to do and investing in a 22nd century Martin County where the grants that they give out to underconnected communities or communities that are tier 1, that's no longer a moniker or a placeholder for Martin County, that we work together to create real abundance and real opportunity and real next level opportunity for everybody in the county. So, Mr. Chairman, Board of Education, Dr. Fonseca, everybody here, didn't mean to take up that much time, but I can honestly say this is probably one of the proudest moments of my life, and I'm really excited about it. Thank y'all.
Thank you. All right, the last thing is board comments. Does anybody have anything they want to address tonight?
Congratulate Miss Bryder. I mean, she's so impressive with me. I wish she was here. And she is very impressive. And then also, Mr. Taekwon, thank you. Forgive me, people, I mean, names don't work. And then the coaches.
And Mr. Chair, I have to say something because this is Teacher Appreciation Week. So I want to personally thank our educators for making a daily impact on the greatest natural resource we have, and that's our kids.
And I want to include the TAs in that also.
All right, anything else?
I'm thankful we have the screen right here on our screen here tonight. I wasn't expecting it, but
It does make it a lot easier.
it's a lot easier.
She gave me a hard time all weekend.
And again, I'd like to congratulate Mr. Monroe and Mr. Collins tonight, and all our other participants and visitors here tonight. We appreciate you being here with us, so we can make sure we're doing our jobs that we're supposed to be doing, and get the word out to hopefully parents to help them to get more involved in their children's education.
All righty, well, with that, if there's nothing else, the Martin County Board of Education meeting is adjourned.